what is the last Black British TV show you watched, or one that you want to watch?
Oh, shit.
Hold on, let me go on my BBC iPlayer.
Black British.
I don't want to make it sound like an ad, but it actually is like
Black British. I don't know, you know. Last thing that I watched.
Yeah, or something that's upcoming.
Oh, what was upcoming? I don't know if it's Black British though.
What is it?
My Father's Shadow.
Yeah.
That's Black British.
But
it's set in Nigeria as well.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
what's the director's name? Cause I'm gonna mess up his name. It's Davis.
Davis
Because he
Jr.
did a event in Somerset House where he played a bunch of short films. Yeah, Sampha was there. It was literally a bunch of short films, and then he had like a band just playing the music for it, and it was beautiful, and it was all like sat down on the ground just watching it, and it was like short films of different people's lives, and it was like a documentary because they got to enter their lives and just film them. So they filmed the wedding, they filmed the funeral. It was Jamaican culture, so it was like the 9-night. And then it ended off with like a birth, like a couple giving birth to their daughter, I believe. And it was such a beautiful thing to experience. And I was like, this is a creative that I'm gonna be following for a very long time and seeing all the stuff. So like My Father's Shadow did well in Cannes, got positive reviews. So that's a film that I'm really looking forward to.
I think that's coming I think they said maybe like Augusty kind of time.
Okay.
Like even maybe later. I'm not sure.
I think it might, because like, was it, to go off topic, but Harrison Dixon's film is coming out in October, so it might be around that time.
Yeah. What film was that?
Pitch House just bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I heard good things about that film, to be fair.
I think for me, there's been a film that I like going and watching what's coming up on film festivals.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of the stuff that I'll keep an eye out, especially from Berlin Film Festival. And luckily I was able to join a like art curated collective night where the director was there. But Dreamers, which is going to be at the London Film Festival this year. So I'm really excited about that one. And the story premise is basically like, despite being very straight, I enjoy seeing queer stories of love because they depict them in such a deep, yearning way.
Yeah.
And I don't think the heteronormative lens doesn't really do that that much. So it's a really like heartfelt story of two lesbians in a asylum seeker center.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's interesting.
That's very interesting.
That does sound really good. I do think like sometimes when I go to London Film Festival, I don't make as much of an effort as I should to watch like some of the quote unquote like smaller titles, because they're not small. They're made to London Film Festival. They're big. But I don't do that. I remember last year I made an effort to watch like for every one film that was like English language, I had to watch 2 films that weren't. And that like served me so well because I think I got to like I then learned about a whole range of different films and like a whole range of new like directors and producers.
Nice.
And that was really, really fun. So I want to make more.
What was one that you liked?
Oh, see, now you're testing me. That was ages ago. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to like look it up and find out. My phone's over there. It's fine. I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
But I think that was actually really, really like, a good thing to be able to do. Actually, I mean, I don't think I watched this at London Film Festival, or maybe I did. But there was a film called On Becoming a Guinea Fowl.
Oh,
yes, that was at
LFF.
Yeah. I really loved that. That was great. And then obviously the actor Susan Chardonnay won a BIFA afterwards.
Nice.
So yeah, that was really cool. And I think that was obviously like dual dialogue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And I think I never probably would have watched that. I never would have really watched it before. I don't think so anyway. But obviously I think making the effort actually served me really well, and I got to see a bunch of films that I would never have normally watched. Also, I actually made use of the player and watched a bunch of shorts. I think like, you're so busy like running around like trying to see all the actual like galas and all the like in-person screenings, you forget that actually there's a whole bunch of stuff on the actual player that you can watch.
Yeah. That was sick.
Yeah.
When I discovered BBC iPlayer had a bunch of shorts on there, I kind of binge a few of them on there. That was pretty cool.
And I also think like Also, guys, like YouTube is a great platform to find shorts.
Yeah,
So like
Minute Shorts as well was a really good platform.
yeah. I heard they just did a deal.
What Minute Shorts?
Yeah.
So like
I think some of the shorts are now showing in airplanes now.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I think it was American Airlines.
Yeah, it's American Airlines.
Yeah, that's sick.
I think the most recent one that I really like is Take Collective acquire a lot of short films and then distribute them on platforms like YouTube.
People doing really, really good
So
work.
the one that I really liked was Essex Girls.
Oh, that was sick.
And
I want that
it's
I want
now
that to be a
available on
TV
YouTube
series.
for you to watch.
They should make that into a TV series.
I absolutely loved it because it kind of tapped into a part of myself that I almost forgot existed. And also it's a period piece. Like you've got to love a period piece.
Yeah.
That was good. I feel like people yearn for nostalgia, which just sounds silly to say, but like because like those two things mean the same thing. But like they yearn for like things that have gone, and I feel like also like we're in like a big time of like people love to reflect on like those moments and pick apart like what things were like back then and like what they as opposed to what they're like now, when you know like a time where it was like the flip phone and the Nokia and the brick and all this stuff, and like girls had like slick back buns with dead straight like bangs
and then the tutus and
like, all
the Paul's
stuff.
Boutique bags.
I used to love my Paul's Boutique bag. I think I begged for that when I first got it. But it was blue. I remember that. But yeah,
Nice.
like stuff like that. I think is so interesting. I think Black British TV, a lot of it does stem from like the works done in film and in like shorts and like stuff coming. And I think there are directors who are really pushing. And also like I think a lot of like self-funded projects. I think about these account I follow called the Rom-Com Guys. I think they're called. They make a lot of like short like projects, like mostly based around like black love and rom-coms and stuff like that.
Nice.
And they're really, really pushing for that as well. But also like in the Black British TV space, you have like Black British docs as well. Like really recently, I went to a Q&A at Rain Dance Festival. Was it Rain? It was Rain Dance. Yeah, Rain Dance, and that was to introduce the new cohort of just released films for the Netflix documentary fund.
Yeah.
And one of them was a black guy who basically had done a documentary about like post reflections of 2020 and the black protester that carried the white protester on like his shoulders away from the crowd. That was that.
Yeah.
And then that was their initial reflection. And then in the doc, they got together a former like neo-Nazi basically,
Oh shit.
and this like black like pro BLM say person
Activist?
there we go, that's the word, activist, and basically sat them down and just had them chat about like their experiences, like, you know, why did you decide to leave the community that you were in, why do you believe in BLM, like and it was really, really good. And I had an interview with the director, and God forgive me, it's still not live, but it should be live because I'm working on it. But like we spoke a lot about like how he wanted to develop that to be something more like either a longer series of like films around like looking at the differences, like very stark differences in like beliefs and cultures, or whether it was like a longer extended film looking at like the rehabilitation of people in like far right kind of spaces and what that looks like for them, because obviously that's a really interesting space that you don't really hear a lot about. I mean, you hear about it, but you don't really hear that much about it. Like you hear about people who are in the space, and you might see like a small feature of them like on the news, like, oh, I used to be but now I'm not anymore. But it's like, what does it actually mean to live your life no longer in that space?
Because it's like it's literally retapping your mind out of a cult.
Yeah, literally.
That's
yeah,
like so crazy.
Yeah. And like the guy was saying that basically like the reason why he left was because eventually his wife was like, it's me or them, and he chose them. He chose them, and obviously then like they reaffirmed him and like, yeah, but you don't need her anywhere, you're fine without her, you've got us. And then eventually you kind of realized actually that this wasn't a good space for him to be in, because they were out one day and something was happening and he went to defend this black man, and they were like, what are you doing, like why are you defending this black man? And he was like, because that's the right thing to do. And then he realized actually he shouldn't be where he was, and he left, and now he's like trying to train people to come out the other side of it. And that was interesting, and that's why, once again, by a black British director, And I think there's so much space in that as well, in documentaries and funding. So people, like Netflix, who are doing the back end to support like documentary makers. And I think the films are available on YouTube. There's I think there's 5 of them, but they're also diverse. Like there's obviously like he's the black director, but there's like other directors from other parts of like the nation, and just focusing on like these different stories. Like one woman is like one director focuses on a traveler lady. I think she's like Romani, and she's like a drag race driver.
Oh, cool.
And she's like won like all these big awards, but she like literally will like race these cars and like, but she's like this one woman, and she's like from this like very traditional sort of community, and people are like, why would you do that? Like go and have a family, make a home. And she's like, this is what I want to do. And she had an accident really recently, and it was like and they caught that on camera whilst documenting, and it's just like really interesting. Another one is about this like really small fishing town where they have this like fishing queen like pageant every year, but because the fishing community is no longer a big thing, because obviously like because of like, what's the word, like not defishing, but like
there's like
coastal erosion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically, like no one fishes anymore. So they're like, is there still a need to do this big competition to find the fishing queen because no one fishes anymore? But like stuff like that is so interesting. Obviously, like that's not all Black British, but it is like rooted in like grassroots funding for storytellers. So yeah, Netflix documentary fund. Go and watch them all.
And you say it's all on YouTube for
all on YouTube. Yeah.